why it's so funny, because for all the templates I have, this is actually the very first template, or the easiest template that is, the easiest to assemble. This is petal number 1, and the funny thing is that there is no tutorial particularly for this one, because I assume this is the easiest. Everybody will know how this template was assembled. But anyway, I'm going to use this opportunity as well to show you how are you going to size your flowers when you wanted to make like small or medium-sized templates. So let's set this. I'm working on another project, so let's set this one aside. Let's just focus on what we have. So mostly of my templates, if it's not a dual tone, if it's just a single tone petal, most of it comes in 6 different sizes. So whether it's SVG or PDF, you will get 6 sizes on it. Mostly. If it's not 6, it's 5. But you will get the idea of how I'm going to size it. So with petal number 1, I'm gonna show you different ways on how you can fold also, or you can curl your petals in different ways, so you can create different designs and style and textures of flowers in whatever setup you're intending to make. So here you see that I have 6 different sizes of petals. And just like, for example, if you want to use if you want to make a large flower, I would recommend that you would use the first 4 sizes, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can make it, I would recommend to use the first 4 size if you are going to use a floppy center. If you are going to use a flat center, I would recommend to use the 5 petals on it. So that's for the large flower, and it would be likely like 19 to 21 inches flower, depending on how you curl it. Because when you curl it, the flower, even though this is like most likely 10.5 inches for the largest flower, it's gonna shrink a little bit because you're going to curl it, so it decreases the size of the diameter of your flower. But if you are just going to position your flower like so, it will make your flowers up to at least 24 inches with the base on it as well. So for the large flower, you see that in my templates, I also give away a free round base, round and hexagonal base. So most likely there are 3 different sizes. For the large one, I'm using the 5 inches circles, and then for the medium one is the 4 inches, and 3 inches for the small one. So as I said, for the large one, it's gonna be the largest, which is the 5 inches. And by the way, I have few questions that they cannot upload the PDF file that I included for the base. It's not gonna work on their Cricut. Well, that's true because it's PDF file, but technically I included those templates basically for the people who doesn't have Cricut machine, that they just wanted to have at least a uniform pattern of circles that they can used to. But if you have Cricut machine, I also have different tutorial on how you are going to get it. But if you will see, this is your screen. On your left side panel of your design space, the second to the last icon in there is shape. Just click on the shape and then put it on the dimension that you want to cut, and then it's ready to cut. So it's basically installed in your design space, and you don't really have to rely on my PDF on my PDF file base, because you can get it for free also in Cricut Machine. So I already tackled about how you are going to make large. I use the first 4 if you're going to use a floppy center, and first 5 if you're going to use a flat center. Now, if we wanted to make a medium size, there are 2 different ways that I know how. So let's number our template, the largest as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as the smallest. So for the largest, we're using the 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the medium, there are 2 different ways that you can do it. It's either use the 3, 4, and 5. This big, it's gonna be smaller though, but you know, the interval of the sizing is a bit closer, so it would look fuller. Or you can use the 2, 4, and 6. The proportion of the size interval will be, you know, proportion, but the thing is, it's like big distances away from each other. So this will make like a floppy, larger, medium size flower, but it's gonna be not as dense as the 3, 4, and 5. So that's how you are going to make your medium flower. And of course, you're going to use your 4 inches or the second largest round base in your on the base that I gave you. Now, if you're going to make the small flowers, you can use the last 3 petals, which is the 4, 5, and 6. So that's how you can make a small one, or for an extra small, and I would love to do it most of the time, especially, you know, when you're filling up like small gaps in a wall. This is like the 5 and the 6, which is the extra small petal. And in my flowers, basically, I have 6 petals in each layer. So some of you had questions, you know, how many petals should I use, you know, in each layer. So the answer is, most of the time I really use 6, and I want to stick on 6, and there are different reasons about that. Some would use 7, but if I can use 6, why not? You know, I mean, paper flower is my business, and as much as possible, I really wanted to be more cost efficient. And if I can save 1 paper in each flower I make, imagine how many paper I save in like more than 100 flowers. You get my point? So I really wanted to do it in a most cost efficient way I can, at the same time not sacrificing the quality. Although there are some flowers that I would consider, you know, like in every layer there are only 5 petals, but the quality is no longer sacrificed at all. Just see, for example, this flower. This is petal number 157, and it's most likely like 12 inches in diameter, and this is one of my most favorite flower that I used to fill in a flower wall. So it doesn't mean that you have less petal on your design. It's gonna be, I mean, the quality is compromised. No, it's all just depend on how you are arranging it. So let's proceed to this petal 1 tutorial. And today I'm gonna be making the medium size flowers. So I have the petal 3, 4, and 5 here. I already prepare it. I already pre-cut this one because I know it will save me tons of time and make this tutorial much quicker, I hope. Sometimes I have different ideas that I wanted to inject, and I'm sorry for that if, you know, that makes the video much longer, but I just really wanted to share, you know, whatever possible ideas I can share to you guys, so it would make your paper flower making much easier. You know, you don't have to you don't have to get through what I've been, you know, when I was starting that, you know, clueless, and you don't have anyone to ask to. I tried it once, but I did not do it again because I was just feeling bad that, you know, I feel like, oh, okay, I respect that their work is their craft and it's their business. So I have to figure things all by myself because no one would really give it to you for free. But I don't want you guys to, I'm not saying that I'm giving everything, you know, for free, but, you know, as much as I can, I really wanted to make it easier for you in your paper flower making. So back to our tutorial. This is petal 3, 4, and 5, and we are gonna be using the base 4 inches, the medium size base, and of course we're gonna need our dowel rods. If you have been watching my videos, you know what's this for. I use this to curl my petals. You can use whatever is convenient or in hand in your house, as long as, you know, it would serve a purpose, as a glue gun, a stick glue. Oh no, a stick glue, not a glue gun. A stick glue, a pencil, whatever, as long as it will do the job. And of course we also need scissors, and we need a pipe cleaner. This is just a quarter of the strip, and we're gonna use this one for as hanger of our flower. And I think basically that's it. You know, if you hasn't had your petals yet, of course you need pencil and, you know, the paper, the cardstock. You can do this one in any colors you want, but I would recommend, if you are just a you know, you are just a beginner, just use the 65 pounds to 80 pounds cardstock. It's the easiest and most convenient paper thickness that you can use to begin and practice your craft. So here in this 3 layers, I have 6 petals in it that I'm gonna use. So first thing we need to do is cut a slit, and I cut 6 petals at a time, like so. And I think it becomes a rule of thumb in paper flower that the largest or the outermost layer has the deepest cut on the petal when you make a slit on it, you know, to make it more three-dimensional. And again, I'm going to cut the second layer, and this time I'm gonna make the slit much narrow. And of course, the smallest one. As you go smaller, your slit becomes shallower. So you get the idea. Although you can cut it one at a time, but the reason behind cutting it all at the same time is, 1, I want it faster. 2, I want it to have uniform slit. Imagine cutting it, you know, one by one without putting a mark on it. So it's gonna be a tedious job just for you to make sure that it's all, you know, cut together. So now we all have slits. The next thing we need to do, we need to divide this one in 2. This is how I do it. You can do it however you want. You can curl it one at a time, but as I said, I want mine to be faster. You know, if you've seen my video or my post recently on Instagram, you know that I had made an 8x8 wall for just a matter of 7 days. So I really want my, you know, everything as fast as I can. So there are different ways that I'm gonna show you how to curl the flowers. So in this particular video, I'm just curling this petal outward, this is gonna be the same as what you see in my listing. This is gonna be how it looks like. So this is the first method on how to curl your petal, especially petal number 1. And there are different other petals also that this would apply. So it's all up to you. You know, you can make different different types of flower, or you can create the same petal design but create different style of flower just because of the way you curl it. So again, let's move on to the second layer, and I'm moving to my smaller dowel rod. And by the way, you can get this one in Michael's, in Joann's, in Lowe's. They have this thing there. So you really don't have to, it's not like it's a treasure that's very hard to find. For me, this is more reliable because it's stiffer, stronger compared to, and there are different sizes that you can choose from. So for me, I actually have 3 sizes just in case I have larger petals. This is for the large flower, this is for the medium, and this is for the small. And I also use my pen for the extra small ones. So that's how it all done. So again, for my extra small, I'm using my pen. Excuse my hair. And all are, you know, curled up. Now the next thing we need to do is make a slit. We already have a slit. Just glue the slit together so we can, you know, position our petal and it will stand into your base. And that's the purpose of the slit. So like for example, your slit gets wider up to here and you don't want to throw your petal, no problem. When you, as you get closer, see, yeah, as you get closer, you move inward, your petal stand more upright. So you can control just the way how you put the slit together, you know, the way how your petal would work. So based on my slit, I have decided to just glue this one midway of the other slit, and I'm gonna do the same thing since I had a uniform slit. All 6 of them on the first layer should be done the same way. And that's the advantage of having a uniform slit. So you don't have to worry that one would lay more flatter than the others. Because I've done that when I just, you know, started. I didn't understand why some of the petals are, seems like they're laying much flat than the others. So it's all about the slit and the way how you put it together. So now, although you can put your slit together on your next succeeding petal sizes, but as beginner, I would recommend that you would arrange this one first on your base and then see it for yourself how you're going to put your next layers together on their slit. So let's make our base first, since we are going to use our largest petals in this flower. So I just curl like a hook this pipe cleaner and put some glue in it, and then just glue it at the edge, one edge of your base. And the reason why I use the pipe cleaner, because the fuzz around it, you know, it gives more strength to hold the glue and paper together compared than just normal wire. So first technique I'm gonna teach you is just, you know, put a glue half of your base with a half of the base of your petal at your right side when you flip it upside down, and then just glue it in your base. And I will show you what's the advantage of, you know, just gluing the half side of your petal. So again, the same thing, just half of it, and then glue it on the very opposite. And doing this method, if you are not using a hexagonal, although the hexagonal would be easier, I don't have hexagonal here, but you know, this is a pentagon, 5-side. But the way how it works with a hexagon, all you need to do is just put it in one side, in every side, so you know that you have an equal distribution of your petals. But if it's in circle, especially for beginner, it would be challenging to put it together equally. So the second thing, I mean the third and the fourth layer, the way how I do it is that, see, it's open here for a reason. I can sneak it underneath because I want my petals to be like one on top of the other. And that's how you're going to do that. One on top of the other. See? And this way, you are not putting a glue yet because you are still trying to eyeball if the petals are evenly distributed. Once you are content with the distribution, you can then now, you know, hold this part here and then just lift this other part with the nozzle of your glue gun, and then just slide and squeeze some glue in it and secure it with the glue. So now it's secure, you don't have to hold it anymore. And this time we're gonna do the same thing with this other petal. And we can close this one now. So of course we need extra stick glue. I forgot to mention it earlier, and your glue gun. So now we have our one side of our flower done, and then we'll do the same thing with our remaining two petals. Just make it sure that it's evenly distributed. Like so. And then same thing as the other side, just lift it with the nozzle of your glue gun. You can do it the way which is most comfortable to you, you know, not, you know, just like yoga. It doesn't mean that there are certain positions done by the pro, you should also do that. It should be something that you are comfortable with doing. So just like this one, it might work for me, but it won't work for you. So find the method that really works best. This tutorial is just the basic you know, way, so you'll have a clue on how you're going to assemble it. So now to the second layer. The reason why we did not glue the slit together yet, because especially with the beginners, you know, sometimes you would wonder that your second layer would really lay very flat, or it's very upright and it's no longer proportioned with the entire completion of the flower. And the reason why I, you know, did this after we arranged this one, so that you can see, you know, how much closer you're gonna glue the slit together of your second layer. So based on the slit and you know the way how I assist it, I want it to stand this way. So what we can do, I'm just gluing all the 6 petals in the second layer the same way as this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we can proceed on putting this petals inward. So again, the same method. Let's just glue half of it and then glue it, and you are moving slightly closer inward. And then the same thing with the next petal on this layer. We're just gluing it exact opposite to where we want it. And we don't have to do the same thing as eyeing because we already have the guide, which will be the next petals gonna be their position into the base, because we already have that one here in place. So we can even glue the entire base, since we don't have to, you know, put it one underneath the other, because there's enough base space here that we no longer need, you know, to do it one atop of the other. So that's the 5th, and then the 6th and final petal for this layer. So now we have our second layer. Let's go to our 3rd layer. And again, we're going to eye this one, how much, you know, we're going to put the slit together. So now I see where. Again, I'm going to glue the slit together of this 6 petals of the smallest layer. Like so. And then again, get inward, closer inward, and then the same thing, one opposite to the other. And again here, that's the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. So there's our flower, and then you can put whatever center you want to put there. You know, this would ideally be good for like a bulky floppy center maybe, because if you want to have a flat center, I would recommend to cover this one first with the same color of your petal, so the white base will not be visible. But before we're going to proceed to our center, let me show you two different techniques on the other ways on how you can curl your petals. So the one I demonstrate earlier is like this one, is method number 1. Method number 2, instead of going outward, we're going inward. So when you put the slit together, the petal will be like curling inward instead of outward, and it would create a peony like. It's not gonna be most likely like a peony because it's very simple edge petal, but you get my point. It's gonna be a different texture on your arrangement. And another method will be curling one side outward and one side inward. And before we do that, let's, you know, press like a continuous line from your slit just to create a texture in this side, and then we can curl this side outward and we can curl this one inward like so, and then just put the slit together. So you'll have variation of texture in your flower. Also, you can make it like all outward or all inward on the side, not on the top, on the side. So, you know, there are limited ways you can make different design just in one petal petal design. So let's proceed in making the center. So with the center in this particular flower, I choose to use this pink and gold because I feel like it is to really, especially I have, you know, a nursery project using this color. So this is just gonna be part of it. I'm just taking advantage that I'm using this petal design to make a video tutorial because it's just silly that this is the easiest petal to do and I don't have a tutorial for it, and for goodness sake, it's petal number 1, right? So now finally I made, you know, a tutorial of it. So I'm gonna put the link below. These are available in my Etsy store also. Excuse me. It's in I'm sure it's in different sets, I believe, but I really love to put these two together. So I'm gonna show you how I put this. I know some of you would think, you know, it's very easy, it's very, you don't have to show it, but for the sake of those who don't really know, wait, I made a mistake. Before gluing this one on the first layer, the first thing you need to do is curl these petals upward. So you would create, you know, dimension in your stamen. Like so. Because this will gonna stay flat and it will create layer by doing so. So once you made the curl, you can now then glue this to the first layer. And then you can put your styrofoam here with gold glitters on it. And now you can press it in the middle of your flower. So there you go. That's petal number 1. And by the way, even though it's already finished, it looks good to me. It does, but there are some ways that you can, you know, if you are, you can, you know, like massage it a little bit to really mold it the way how you like. You can also alternate it, like this will be curl and the inside will be curl, but the outside will be slightly upright, so it would create more interest. It's really all up to you, depending on, you know, your flavor, the way how you like it. So it's your flower, it's your decision how you make it. So that's it. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope this tutorial helps you a lot. Until next time, I'm gonna be making more tutorial, and even the tutorial on how to assemble the entire wall. Bye!